his mother holding her newborn baby, cautioning her teen son not to run. He asks her in Spanish why she always tells him not to run.
This chilling footage shows an interaction between mother and son that would lead to brutal murder.
Garcia was found at the foot of her bed, suffering from multiple stab wounds to the neck. Her newborn daughter lay just inches away in her crib, unharmed.
13-year-old Derek Rosa seemed like a normal teenager. He was a polite and respectful honor student who never got into any trouble. But there was something evil lurking inside him that no one saw coming until it was too late.
You killed her? All right. What type of knife was it? Do you know?
It was just a big size kitchen knife.
That big?
Yeah.
His crime left everyone completely horrified. But what he did after the murder was even more shocking. The details in this case are pretty disturbing, but to understand how everything happened, we need to go back to the beginning. Everyone who knew 39-year-old Irina Garcia said that she was a caring and devoted mom who would have done anything for her children. Her firstborn child, Derek Rosa, was born sometime in 2010. According to family members, he was a good, affectionate, and polite boy who did well in school and was respectful to others. It's not clear when Derek's dad, Jose Rosa, left the picture or if he was involved in his son's life. At some point in 2020, Irina decided to give love a second chance and got remarried to Frank Ramos, who worked as a truck driver. Soon she found out she was pregnant and was excited to become a mom for the second time. At the time, Derek was 12 years old, and being the only child for so long, he didn't seem to mind getting a new sibling. This cute picture shows him and his stepdad wearing matching outfits and lovingly cradling Irina's baby bump. They all seemed happy and excited about the new baby, and nothing seems off. Neighbors also didn't notice anything weird with the family. They all seemed to get along, and Derek would often be seen helping his mom carry packages and shopping bags inside the house. In September 2023, Irina gave birth to her new daughter, and everyone in the home was happy to welcome the new baby. But just 2 weeks later, on October 12, 2023, the emergency services in Miami, Florida, received a distressing call from Derek, reporting that his mom was dead. But this is what shocked the dispatcher the most, when the 13-year-old admitted that he was the one who took his mom's life.
I need to know if your mom is breathing.
She said, miss.
Okay, and why did you do that?
There's blood all over the floor.
I need to know, do you think we can help your mom?
Miss, she's dead.
With a voice half calm, half in distress, Derek told the dispatcher that he had used a knife to attack his mom. He also said that he was considering taking his stepfather's gun and using it on himself, though he could not go through with it.
I was gonna shoot myself, but I didn't want to.
Where is the gun right now?
It's in the living room. I loaded it. I pulled back the slide, but I did not shoot.
Then he asked something that left the dispatcher in disbelief.
I took pictures and I told my friends about it. Was that bad?
You told who about it?
My friends.
Yeah, he actually took pictures of his dead mother and sent them to a friend. Here is one of the pictures that he sent. You can actually see red stains on his hands after he had just murdered his mother. How sick is that? Officers were sent to the apartment around 11:30 p.m., and what they found would haunt them for a very long time. Footage from the doorbell camera captured the moment police arrived at the scene. Derek can be seen on the phone, still talking to the dispatcher. He asks her if he can leave the house, and the dispatcher tells him to stay put. In the background, a group of officers is seen arriving in the parking lot as red and blue lights swirl around them. Police say that Derek was very polite and apologetic when talking to the emergency dispatcher and the responding officers. The scene in Irina's bedroom could only be described as one straight out of a horror movie. There were red splatters everywhere, including on the walls and ceiling, and right in the middle of it was Irina's lifeless body lying in a red puddle on the floor. She had suffered from multiple jab wounds to the neck. Her 14-day-old baby was lying in a crib next to her, unharmed and oblivious to the horror that had just taken place. Police later released gruesome crime scene photos, including a red-stained knife with a pink handle and a broken tip.
Police say the life of 39-year-old Irina Garcia was taken just 14 days after she had given birth to a baby girl.
This is heartbreaking. I never would have imagined something like this, a 13-year-old child taking his mother's life. It's a very sad story.
Garcia was choked to death inside her second-floor Hialeah apartment.
Yesterday around 11:30 at night, Hialeah police received a phone call from a 13-year-old male, a juvenile, stating that he had just murdered his mother.
Police say they found Garcia's body in the bedroom and her newborn baby in a crib near her. The baby was not injured. Police say they do not know why the teen killed his mother.
He did not say why he did this. All he did was call 911 and advise what he did.
The news of the gruesome murder shook the entire community, with many wondering what they had missed. How could the polite and respectful boy that they knew and loved do something so cold and evil to his own mother?
He was part of a normal family. I never saw any arguing or police there. This is very calm here. This is the first time something like this happened. This was the first time I saw police here.
Right now, what we're understanding is that no, there is no other calls. We're hearing from family that he was a good kid, honor roll student at school. There's no history of mental health. So right now, we're just trying to figure out why he did this.
At the time, Derek was in 8th grade at I Matter Academy Middle School. The principal released a statement saying, "We are deeply saddened by this tragic event. Our hearts and prayers go to the family involved during this incredibly difficult time." Derek's stepdad was out of town when the incident happened. When he returned, his whole life had been turned upside down. He was now a single dad to a baby who will never know her mother. And his stepson, whom he loved and treated as his own, had taken away the person he loved the most. He was not only shocked at what had happened, but in disbelief that Derek could have done this. No one thought he was capable of such level of violence. In fact, some family members, including Derek's biological dad, Jose, believed he was innocent. One family member told reporters, "Derek is a sweetheart. No one knows him like we do. This is unlike him. He is not an adult. He is a child that likes to play." The family would even start a petition on change.org called Save Derek Rosa. This petition reads, "I plead for justice for this beautiful young man who looks innocent only because he is innocent. Please help him. God bless this young man and justice for Derek." The petition was signed by thousands of people who were mostly mothers and grandmothers, saying that he is just a child. But the prosecution believed that Derek was evil and should be locked up for good.
Cell phone video shows the moment a teenage boy surrendered with his hands up. Just minutes earlier, police say he called 911 and confessed to killing his mother.
His demeanor, he was very quiet, apologetic, very respectful. Not what you would expect walking into that home and seeing that crime scene.
Initially, Derek was charged as a juvenile with second-degree murder, but that charge changed when the prosecution reviewed all the evidence against him. This is one of the footage released by the police showing an interaction between Derek and his mother hours before he brutally murdered her. In the footage, Derek can be seen opening the apartment's door, while Irina is seated in a nearby chair holding her newborn baby. The two are speaking in Spanish, and it seems like a normal mother-son conversation. Irina apparently asks Derek not to run around the house, and he asks, "Why do you always tell me don't run?" Another footage captured by the baby monitor shows Irina in her bedroom holding her newborn daughter. Moments later, Derek is seen standing over his mother with a knife in his hands.
At 10:23 p.m. on October 12th, a baby monitor captures Garcia cradling her newborn baby. The intimate moment turned violent at 11 o'clock. Police say this is Rosa leaning over his mom.
Derek's interrogation video was also released to the public. In the video, he confessed to detectives that he waited until his mom fell asleep before attacking her with a big kitchen knife.
You killed her? All right. What type of knife was it? Do you know?
It was just a big size kitchen knife.
That big?
Yeah.
What color was the handle?
Purple.
Purple?
Yes.
Okay. Your mom was sleeping?
Yeah, she was sleeping.
Okay.
After taking his mom's life, he claimed that he went to the closet and grabbed one of his stepdad's guns with plans of using it on himself.
My stepdad he owns two guns. He has a Glock 19.
Okay.
And then, I don't know what it's called, another one.
Okay. What color are they?
The Glock 19 is black, and then the other one has a silver slide and then like a dark bluish handle. I grabbed the gun, I put the magazine in the gun,
Okay.
I pulled back the slide, but I didn't want to shoot myself.
Okay.
I intended to shoot myself before, but I couldn't.
He said that he was unsure whether he would go through with his plan, so he called an online friend called Sweden to say goodbye.
You called him before you decided to try to shoot yourself or afterwards?
After.
Okay. How many friends did you call?
Only one.
What's his name?
I don't know his real name. He's an online friend.
He's an online friend?
Yeah.
When you say online friend, what do you mean, from video games?
Yes, from video games. I know him real well.
Okay. How long have you known him?
Since like I was 10, 3 years.
3 years? Have you ever met him?
No, I've seen the face.
You seen his face?
Yeah.
So how did you communicate with him?
My cell phone.
Through your cell phone, so you have his number?
Yes.
And you don't have him stored under a certain name, or you have him stored under a gamer tag?
I have him. I made up a name for him.
You made up a name for him?
Yeah.
What name did you make up for him?
Sweden.
Sweden?
Sweden. SWEEDEN.
Okay.
Then, for some sick, twisted reason, he sent his friend 3 pictures, 2 of his dead mother and a selfie.
What did he tell you?
He said he couldn't believe it.
Okay. Does Sweden live down here in Florida?
He lives real far.
Real far?
Yeah. In America, though.
In America?
Yeah.
He said that he again thought about harming himself, but decided to call 911 instead. He told detectives that his newborn half-sister was asleep throughout the whole ordeal.
Did you ever make your way to your sister?
Killing her?
No.
Touching her?
Touching her?
No.
No?
I left her alone. She was sleeping and she didn't wake up, so I didn't touch her.
Okay.
The detective then asked him where he cut his mother. The audio is muted, but you can see him pointing to his neck as he answers the question. He told detectives that his mother was screaming during the horrific attack. Can you imagine waking up to find someone you love attacking you for no reason? That is just heartbreaking.
And then she woke up?
Yes.
Did you say anything else to her? Or did she say anything to you or no?
No, she just screamed.
She just screamed.
An autopsy later revealed that Irina had suffered from over 40 knife wounds. During the interrogation, the detectives noted that he had red stains in his clothes, and he admitted that they were the same ones he was wearing when he committed the crime. Then the detective asked the question that everyone has been asking. Why? But instead of giving a straight answer, Derek started deflecting and asked to go to the bathroom. And when he came back, he asked for a lawyer.
Can I go to the bathroom before I answer that?
Yes, of course.
So you were about to tell me the why. Why did you kill your mother? Do you know?
I have to say it now.
Yeah, get it off your chest. Absolutely.
Can I wait for a lawyer?
Okay, at this point, you want a lawyer?
Maybe.
We can't. No, listen. Just so you understand, okay? You have mentioned or asked us, should you wait for a lawyer? We're not here to advise you on whether to talk to a lawyer or not. That decision is yours, okay? But if you are requesting a lawyer at this point, we can't interview you any further. And saying we have to stop the interview.
Okay.
Do you want us to stop the interview?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of things have been reduced from this interrogation video, but in a chilling audio, which was later played in court, Derek could be heard describing in horrific detail how he committed the gruesome crime.
I woke up, went to the kitchen, I grabbed one of the kitchen knives, and then I went to our room, and then I ate.
It's okay, you guys.
Prosecution revealed that this was not an impulsive act carried out in the heat of the moment. No, it was cold and calculated. Derek had reportedly made several disturbing searches on his phone, including the best place to jab someone.
He typed in the word, the carotid artery image diagram. What is the best place to stab someone? Is a small knife good for killing?
With this amount of evidence, Derek was indicted as an adult with a first-degree murder charge. He was then transferred to an adult jail.
13-year-old Derek Rosa, who called 911 2 weeks ago after allegedly stabbing his mother to death, is now being charged as an adult. As you mentioned, he did have a hearing earlier today. He wasn't physically present, but we can take you to video so you can see for yourself. Now, he is now facing one charge of first-degree murder as an adult. The family requested he be transferred back to the juvenile detention center, but pending review, he is being taken to Metro West, which is an adult prison facility.
And here's where things get a little bit complicated. Despite the gruesome nature of his crimes, many people are still defending him. The judge presiding over his case received over 20 letters from various people, including the stepdad, who pleaded for leniency. He wrote in his letter, "I, Frank Ramos, stepfather of Derek Rosa, have been living with him since March of 2020. He has been a kid, very loved by his entire family, and his behavior has been very good. His mom would go out of her way for him. She took care of him with a lot of love and affection. They loved each other a lot, the same as me. I had him as if he were my son. We got along very well. It does not fit in my head what happened to him to make him do that to his dear mother who loved him. I don't understand, honestly." Derek's biological dad, Jose Rosa, also wrote to the judge describing his son as a respectful honor roll student. He said that Irina's mother helped raise his son and that he was a good kid who was well loved by his friends. He went on to say that he didn't know what led to this incident and that after being in the military for 22 years, he had taught Derek good values. It's hard to explain how this occurred. It's difficult, but I guess we are asking for another opportunity, a second chance to help him grow. Put this behind him and say, "We have your back. We are here to support you." There was even a letter from the school's bus driver who described the teen's behavior as impeccable with the best grades.
The way that they describe him is a loving, a caring, a respectful, a compassionate person that they are proud to have in their family, and they are continuing to stand by his side throughout this process.
While their reasons for supporting Derek are pretty understandable, they can be misinterpreted. Yes, Derek was pretty young when he committed the crime, and some experts have argued that at that age, the brain is not fully formed, and therefore he didn't know any better.
And his brain doesn't have the same hardware as an adult. If you break the brain up into two systems, we have what's called social emotional control, which actually develops much quicker than what we call cognitive control. So if you think of social emotional control as the gas, think of cognitive control as the brakes. So in a child that age, you have the gas without the brakes. And this means that you have a child's brain that's unable to weigh the future consequences of its actions, unable to exercise restraint, unable to weigh the options. That's very emotionally dysregulated, and it's very difficult for them to control their impulses in the same way that an adult does.
But doesn't this set a bad precedent of excusing bad behavior? And this was not a small, excusable mistake like they're trying to make it look. This was a cold-blooded murder. A life was lost, and Derek was the perpetrator. The fact that Derek had taken the time to research on the best way to commit the crime shows that he was fully aware of what he was doing. And the fact that he even sent a friend a picture of his dead mother shows that he was proud of what he did. He knew the consequences of his actions. The judge understood this, and that's why even after receiving all those letters from relatives and other supporters, he still rejected the request to transfer Derek back to a juvenile facility.
We just learned a Miami-Dade judge denied a motion to move 13-year-old Derek Rosa to juvenile detention. The 13-year-old is accused of fatally stabbing his mother, 39-year-old Irina Garcia, in their Hialeah home. Detectives saying she had 46 wounds. Rosa's attorneys argued the teen's rights are being violated by being held at the Metro West Detention Center, but the judge just ruled he will continue to stay there.
In one of the hearings, his dad and grandma appeared on his behalf and pleaded not guilty to the charges. They also begged the judge to give Derek a second chance. They asked the judge to consider house arrest, saying that the teen would live with his dad and grandma and would not be left alone. But the judge dismissed their pleas, saying the hearing was only to determine whether there was probable cause to show if Derek was in fact guilty or believed to be guilty. And after reviewing the evidence, he found there was indeed probable cause and ordered that Derek be held without bond.
Family members showed up from both sides to support the teen. He remains at Metro West Detention Center without a bond. Today, his private attorney again entered a not guilty plea, which is usual normal protocol. However, something not common is that the defendant is a teen. Even though he's charged as an adult, family members are hoping Derek Rosa gets transported from Metro West to the Juvenile Detention Center, where he was earlier last week when he initially was facing just a second-degree charge as a juvie. But of course, the situation changed late last week when he was indicted as an adult. However, the judge wants to hear from both sides before making a ruling on this motion.
As of October 2024, Derek remains locked up at Metro West Detention Center. His trial is anticipated to begin in December 2024. If he is found guilty, he faces up to life in prison. For now, the question remains in everyone's mind. Why did he do it? Did something provoke? Or is he just pure evil? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button.